This book changed the way I think about spending money in my personal life as well as in my business. The book is called We Should All Be Millionaires, and it's by Rachel Rodgers. I am kind of obsessed with her now. This is a Rachel Rodgers fan account. My favorite lesson that I took away from this book was how to determine if something is a broke-ass decision or $1 million decision. This is now something I not only use when thinking about my business, but it's literally something my boyfriend and I use every time we have to make big purchases together. There will literally be times that I say something to John or I'm stressed about spending money and he's like, that's a broke-ass decision. And I'm like, honestly true. Broke-ass decisions are things that you are basically unwilling to pay somebody else to do because you've convinced yourself that it's like too expensive or you can do it yourself. It's also things in your personal life that you keep on your plate even though it's not serving you or allowing you to make money. The goal is that you're basically paying to get some of your time back in your day so that you can make more money. Here's an example of a $1 million decision that my boyfriend and I recently made together. We are in the process of moving cross country. All of our stuff is in Colorado and we are trying to move it back to Pennsylvania. We also had 2 cars that we needed to get back here. We, for like weeks, were going back and forth on like when we were going to fly out there to get our stuff, when we were going to rent a U-Haul, booking hotel rooms for the drive, all of that. It was going to be like 2 trips, 3 trips maybe, just a lot of time. And he works a 9-to-5. I clearly work for myself. A few weeks ago, we were literally like, I wonder how much it would cost us if we just hired movers. So we put out some quotes and it was basically going to cost the exact same as if we did this all ourselves. And we wouldn't have to drive across country like 3 times. We had this idea in our heads though that it was going to be so outlandishly expensive that we just put it off, and wasted so much time stressing ourselves out about this when the reality was we just needed to ask for a quote. In your business, an example might be something like accounting, where you're not hiring an accountant because you've convinced yourself that it's way too expensive and you can't afford it. When the reality is you won't actually know until you get the quote and then can evaluate it from there. And even if you do think it's too expensive, shift your mindset to think, how can you make that extra money to cover that cost? Remember, the goal is putting time back in your pocket so you can generate more income for yourself. This does not mean go out and offload every single one of your responsibilities and basically run your revenue into the ground. This is thinking very small. How can you make these very small, reasonable changes in your life that buy you more time in your day? And also just live a life where you're not swamped with responsibilities all the time. Rachel Rodgers is literally brilliant, so if you haven't picked up a copy of that book, I would highly recommend it.